everyone. Greetings, Brother Yahya Lukman. You are the Imam of the American Fazl Masjid, known as Ahmadiyya Mosque in Washington, D.C. You have lots of knowledge. We want to learn more from you about the nomination of Al-Ahmadiyya. What is it about?
The Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat, or the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, is a Sunni denomination of Islam. Meaning that we believe that after the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we believe in the Khulafai Rashidin, Hazrat Abu Bakr radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu, Hazrat Umar radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu, Hazrat Usman radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu, and Hazrat Ali radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu, to be the rightful Khulafa of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Can we know how extended is it all over the world, like in the Indian subcontinent and in Great Britain especially?
Right. So the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat was started in the Indian subcontinent in 1889 by Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. He claimed to be the Mahdi and the Masih for this era, for the reformation and revival of Islam in this era, in this time, for the revival of the teachings of the Quran and the revival of the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And so he created this community in 1889 in India and the Indian subcontinent, and from there it spread to many parts of the world. We are now in over 200 countries and territories of the world. Predominantly we are in the Indian subcontinent, on the African continent, and we have a great diaspora also in countries such as Germany, United Kingdom, and Canada as well.
Yes, we know Al-Ahmadiyya existed in Canada, but what about North America? How big is the congregation here in the United States, especially in North America?
So in the United States, we're actually very small. We have 20 to 25,000 Ahmadi Muslims in the United States. We are in 65 chapters, 65 different locations. We have about 60 masajid in the USA. But compared to Canada, for instance, we are less than half. Mm-hmm. And also in Canada, we have one of the largest masajid of any Muslim group in Calgary, in the Western Hemisphere. So you can see that there's a big difference in the population numbers. Likewise, in the United Kingdom, we have one of the largest masajid in Western Europe as well, in the UK. So there's a much larger population of Ahmadi Muslims in Canada and in UK. And then in African countries, in each country we have hundreds and sometimes maybe even thousands of masajids.
So does it mean that the Al-Kiyama, Yawm Al-Kiyama, has occurred already?
No. So again, this is the difference in beliefs. Kiyama will happen when Allah decrees it to happen. It does not happen when Allah sends a prophet. What is the use for sending a prophet for the reformation of people if the end is going to happen? Mm-hmm. Right? So this is a flawed logic. Actually, the teachings about the coming of Masih and the Mahdi are that he will come for the reformation of people, that he will come for the revival of Islamic teachings. So if those things, if Qiyamah is going to happen, then how are people going to get reformed? How is the teachings of the Holy Quran going to be revived? How are the teachings or Sunnah of Rasulullah supposed to be relived or retaught among people and re-established?
Can we know how the Christian look at the Al-Ahmadiyya? How you describe your relationship with the Vatican?
Yes, we have very good relations. Actually, just a few months ago, one of our Imams from Argentina, and the Pope is from Argentina, he was invited for a second time to meet and have the audience with the Pope. Our Imam in Italy was also with him. So we have very good relations with all religious groups. And actually, so this was one of the principles that the founder of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat taught, that he said that the teachings of Islam are with regards to peace. The very name means peace and harmony. And this is what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught as well, that you should have peace and good relations and good interactions with people of all faiths. In fact, even during times of war, the Holy Prophet Muhammad said that no person of any faith clergy, no clergy person of any faith should ever be harmed. So this is the kind of respect and honor that we give to people of all faiths.
Can you know what kind of relationship do you have with the other communities, like faith community, the Jews in Washington D.C. especially?
So we have good relations with Jewish community all over the world, and any community, Buddhist community, Christian community, on the basis of faith, on the basis of religion. We as Muslims, we believe in all of the previous prophets. Right? So it is, if we believe in all of the previous prophets, if we believe in Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, then we must show respect to his teachings and the guidance that he's given and the people that believe in them. If we believe in all the prophets that Allah has sent, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that 124,000 prophets have been sent all around the world. We do not even know all of their names. And yet whoever ascribes to being a believer in Allah, in God, then we must show honor and respect to them.
Can you tell us more what the Ahmadiyya community does in the DC area, how they do on a daily basis, what are the numbers, etc.? Okay,
so like I mentioned earlier, that in the United States we have about 60 masajid. Some of those masajid, about half of those masajid are purpose-built, meaning that they were built and constructed as masajid, and the remaining half are buildings that have been converted into mosques or masajid. So this building that we are in, the American Fazl Masjid, was a building that was constructed as a residence in 1913. The person that built it and lived in it, she died in 1948, and in 1949 the first foreign minister of Pakistan, who was an Ahmadi Muslim and very well renowned, his name was Sir Muhammad Zafrullah Khan. He later became the first Muslim to be the president of the UN General Assembly, and also then the first Muslim to be the president of the International Court of Justice. But at the time that in 1949 he was the first foreign minister, he came to the US to help set up the diplomatic establishment, and he found that in DC there were many Muslims, but there were no masajid. So he purchased this building with his own funds, and since 1950 it has served as a masjid. And in the DMV area, in the DC metro area, we have 4 other masajid. 3 of them are purpose-built, but this one remains to be the oldest masjid, permanent masjid, of any Muslim group in Washington, D.C.
From our reason, we know that Ahmadiyya has a lot of influence on Black Americans converting to Islam. Is it related to politics and voting?
Yeah, so again, the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat is not a political organization in any way. The members of our community, they can vote whichever way their heart desires. So first of all, it has nothing to do with politics. The Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat came to the United States in 1920 for, again, the specific purpose of the propagation of Islam in America, as well as the revival of the religion amongst the Muslim immigrants that had come to America. So in 1920, our first missionary, Hazrat Mufti Muhammad Sadiq, he arrived in America. He set up his headquarters in Chicago. And from Chicago, he traveled throughout America, converting Americans, mostly African Americans at that time, but also Arab Americans who had come in the decades before to America, and many of them had changed their names to American names. They had forgotten the practice of their faith. There were no masajids. So he instilled in all of them, again, the mission being the revival of Islam, to build a masajid. not to give up their Muslim names, to teach their children salat, to teach their children the reading of the Quran.
You said earlier that you have a good relation with even Buddhists. So how you describe, do you have any relation with the Masonic community? Like they have many temples also here?
So again, it is their religion, right? They are human beings, so it is our obligation to be good to all human beings. Our motto as a community is love for all, hatred for none, right? So whatever their religious views are, whatever their religious beliefs are, those are their religious beliefs and those are their religious views. We do not condemn anyone for their religious views. This is again a teaching of the Quran. La ikrah fi din, right? There shall be no compulsion in the matters of faith. So as long as someone is doing good and working for the benefit of all of humanity, we will work with them and side by side, regardless of what their beliefs are. Regardless, even if they do not believe in God, even if they are atheist. So long as they are working for the benefit of humanity and good works, we will work with you.
Now finally, tell us more about yourself, how you become the Ahmadiyya Imam in DC.
So actually I have been, I devoted my life for the service of Islam and humanity, and I studied for 8 years at a Jamia, at a university, specifically with regards to Islamic teachings, and upon my graduation I have served now for 20 years as an Imam in the USA, and for the last 5 years here in Washington, D.C.
Imam Yahya Luqman, thank you for your wisdom, thank you for your thoughts, you are a great leader, thank you for your spiritual guidance. I'm so glad to have you, it's an honor to have you on my show. Thank you, and may God bless you. Happy Eid.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Maria Malouf here. Please click to like and subscribe to Maria Malouf TV YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.